Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad that I get to spend this time with you. Just made myself some pesto from the garden. It was really good. Yeah, I love fresh pesto. Fresh basil leaves, some kale, garlic, lemons, and olive oil, salt, and a little bit of pepper. And I put nutritional yeast and I put a little bit of goat cheese in there, organic. Blend it all up in a blender. Oh, and sunflower seeds. It's important. Shelled sunflower seeds, fresh. Blend that all up. You got yourself a nice pesto. You can forego the goat cheese and add more nutritional yeast if you want. Or you can just use feta if you're into that. And I add a little bit of water, but don't add too much or it gets too watery. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video because I have this, I don't know, sort of paranoia, I guess, that someone's always watching me, you know, like the watchers, and that they're stalking me because I have these like great ideas and because I want to help people and like take down the system, and my ideas are somehow a threat to the people in charge of the system and all that. So they're always trying to watch or sabotage me or psychologically warfare against me or something like that, so that I stay docile and don't rise up and like cause a revolution or something like that. So I just wanted to make this video sort of in the style of like a YouTube video, but it's mostly just like cathartic because I want to talk about these things and I just want to address the people who are watching me directly. If someone was watching me, they'd probably watch this video to be able to figure out more about me, and I just want to, and I'm also going to be posting it online on my YouTube. I guess to justify why it's on my YouTube, gardening is more about life than anything else, and I just wanted to, and since gardening is a big part of my life, talking about my life is always connected to gardening in a way. But anyways, I just want to say to these people, thank you for doing what you believe is right, and I think that is super honorable. And I think that if I was a person who was assigned to watch me, my motivation is probably to secure like resources for my family and for the people in my community of the United States and of the world. And I just want to say that I think that's very honorable, and I think that's like the highest honor, and to want to protect and preserve the goodness, that what you see as goodness in the world. I think that's very good, and it's like a natural, like fatherly instinct. I just want to say that my intention is to help people, because deep down, my motivation is that my mother was depressed, and during childhood, it was like I was responsible for her emotions in a way, or I felt responsible. But I always tried my best to help her as best I can. And I know I wasn't always able to do what she needed and provide her with what she needed, because I was just a child and I didn't understand the world or exactly what she needed, or I'm sure she didn't fully, because I mean, yeah, we all have a hard time sometimes with that. But anyways, that complex became my motivation to help the world, which is like a representation of my mother that's birthed me and cares for me and has all these things to help me. And I love my mom and I want to do the best I can for her. And even though I don't speak to my mom right now because we don't agree on a lot of things, I still love her and want the best for her. And I feel like if I wasn't able to help my mom, at least maybe I can help other people who might be more open to the kind of help I have to give. And I think I saw a lot of health problems, not only in my mother, but in my family, and also in friends and people I've met along the way, that I think can be easily prevented with basically gardening, like organic gardening, and also just this like connection to nature that in our modern society we don't really have as much as we need. And so I want to basically help people by helping them connect with nature and connect with their inner self and their inner healer, and to become like connected back to this system of nature that helps us heal and helps us thrive and feeds us and nurtures us. And so that's my motivation. Like, that's why I do what I do, and everything that I do goes back to trying to revive these systems that are in harmony with nature. And I think we can really take from Native Americans and other indigenous groups around the world lessons about how to do that. And I've taken it upon myself to learn as much as I can about these things and to keep on studying my whole life about how to do it best, and to communicate and share with other people my ideas and hear theirs and listen to nature. And that is like my motive. I realized that money is a lot of people's motivation because they see it as their source of power in order to there's some noise in the background, as their source of power in order to get their needs met. But I think when you connect with nature, you realize that the natural system is set up to help you meet those needs. And it might not look like what TV or modern society depicts it as, like these big fancy buildings and whatnot, but nature naturally grows food and materials for us to use to build shelter. And our management of these natural areas is very important for us to be able to sustain life over a long period of time. And I think I'm deeply motivated by stuff I learned in college about like nature and specifically the mycorrhizal fungi in the soil, and how they help distribute nutrients throughout the natural environment, and how important their role is in this distribution of nutrients, and also how delicate they are as a system, and how our actions as humans often impact them very dramatically. And so I think I'm really heavily focused on gardening as a way to interact with these natural systems and in a way that's harmonious, so that we can have, our comforts of the modern age, like our homes and our AC and our computers and cell phones and, stoves and sinks and all that, toilets and beds and all that stuff. But we can also have an abundant natural system around us that continues to clean the air and provide us food that is good for us and not just like sprayed with chemicals or grown in poor soil. And a lot of modern agriculture is poor soil. So even though the crops are growing and they look to be abundant, they're actually lower in nutrient density than we're adapted to as a species, because over the years of using this chemical agriculture, which actually hasn't been long in the context of human history, these chemicals we've spread on our ecosystem in our farms has led to the degradation of the soil, and therefore the nutrient density of the food is severely reduced. And so therefore we have all of these effects on society where basically we don't feel good, and it can make us grouchy, and it can make us behave in antisocial ways and have all sorts of other problems. Oh no, it just started to rain. I don't know if you can hear that. So these are my motivations, and I want to see a world where we can be living in harmony with these natural systems, and we can be getting food and medicine and water from the natural area, with like nice paths and cool little spots to hang out, and still have cities with streets and stuff like that, but maybe some more green roofs, and maybe have the suburbs a little bit more full of trees and shrubs, and a lot of times places just cut down all the trees and they don't plant them back, and I think we need to be planting a lot more trees back. So I think that's kind of my main motivation, and I just want people to know how to take care of their soil and how to take care of the plants and how to live harmoniously with their ecosystems, and what kind of actions they can take in order to do that. I think we need to consider the natural systems in our design of what we're building, because we're building the future right now, and we're planning to build the future also. And I think we need to include the consideration of harmony with natural systems in our design plans. So that's really important. So I just, circling back to like the people who are watching me and like wondering like, who is this guy, like is he crazy, like this communist guy is trying to design systems that are going to threaten business and the economy and da. I don't care about business and the economy, and I know it's important, and I know it's like something that holds up right now, and I'm hoping for the transition to natural systems harmony is smooth economically, because I know that's the best case scenario, and I think it has a high potential to be, but I just want people to be informed so that when we make decisions, it can be with the consideration of natural systems. And I hope that if you can kind of like understand some of the stuff I've just said here, then maybe like you won't view me as a threat, and you might view me as just like a new perspective. That just want to check and see if dogs are stuck outside here. Rain just oh gosh. Come on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, and the shade. Okay. Alright, go. Yes, hi. Here's Lucky. Hey, Lucky. Hey. And here's Boo. And I literally love everyone. Like, I want the best for everyone, and that's also part of my motivation. I want the best for the world, I think that when we all benefit, and I'm not talking about just the winners or just the people with capital, I'm saying all of us, when we all benefit, like when there's lots of food for everyone, and things are a little bit more laid back, I think that just like I think happiness is actually very chemical. And I think good food and good community and like a nice, easy, relaxed life, not only for yourself but for community, is like the best thing that you can do for your like mental health and for your just overall well-being and happiness. I think like we're supposed to be in harmony with nature, and we're supposed to be um like happy. And I think that the idea that we need to produce so much and that we need to engage in these like capitalist systems to the extent where our energy is like almost completely depleted, if not completely depleted for a lot of people. I think that's just unhealthy, and we need to go and just like slow down our progress a bit, and like focus more energy on like the natural systems that like clean the air and provide good food for us and clean water for us. And I think we need to start there, and then work on more sustainable shelter and clothing, and then we can move on to things like further technological advances. Like keep the factories and the mines and everything open, but I'm talking about like in the suburbs and in new construction, and like when even homeowners, like how they work in their yards, like that. Those decisions that you make when you're working on all those projects, like that's where we need to be considering like harmony with nature and stuff. And I think like really what sets me apart is the amount of time that I spend contemplating nature and meditating and just like taking it easy. And I think that I want to recommend that whoever watches me do that more, and then we can like be more closely like in sync. And I think like as funny as it sounds, like as nefarious as it is to like watch somebody and like intrude on their privacy in that way and like try to like bring them down in order to be paid to do that, I think that they're also like forced to watch this and like be exposed to the philosophy of these like alternative thinking people. And I think them as like some of the most conservative people who are able to do that as their job, being exposed to these philosophies is like a really good thing for like just the general spirituality of the world. So like watch on, like see what I do, because I'm going to be out there mulching and planting trees and planting a diversity of species in my garden, and talking to people about organic gardening and politics, and encouraging people to take community action. So I think that I just want to say and finish off with I love you. I think you're awesome. I appreciate every single person on this earth, and I think that even people who I really strongly have not gotten along well with in the past, who I even don't like, I still love and appreciate them, and I know that they have a place on this earth and positive gifts to bring. And I think we need to look at everything in that eyes. I think there's a lot of like this pest mindset that like we need to kill and destroy the thing that is like a pest in the garden. But I'm trying to say that every garden pest has its place, and when we consider the whole ecosystem, the pests balance themselves out, and you actually end up with less pests than you do in a system where you're trying to kill off everything. So I think that's a great analogy for life, for dealing with crime, for dealing with drug use, for dealing with like deviant behavior. And I want like I might be considered a pest to somebody, and I want them to think of me in the way that I consider pests in the garden, which is with love and appreciation and knowledge that if I become too gregarious, then I can then something else will come up and eat me along the way, and that it doesn't need to be this systemic control of spraying everything in the garden to death, because there's a natural balance that happens when you consider nature and consider natural systems. And there's a lot of great people out there to learn more about this stuff from besides me. So I highly encourage you to take a look at like Jeff Lawton, Andrew Millison. These are like some like popular, well received people who have great ideas about how to live in harmony with nature. In the Western world. So yeah, thank you for watching, and to all of those people who are just interested in what I'm saying and aren't like government agents watching me or something, and that aren't paranoia but are just real people, please just comment and let me know that I'm not crazy. I'm a little bit crazy, but let me know I'm not totally crazy. And that's another dog. Oh, I thought it was another dog. Anyways, I hope y'all heard that knock at the door, because I don't know what that was. So I'll end the video here, and thank you again. I love you. Have a wonderful day.